backside. Just got the ute set up. Easy to park, make it look like I'm showing it off. So the big brother just got smoked. He was having a bit of a nap on the lights. Might pick up there, big fella. So yeah, all good to go.
90.
Friday night done. It's a pretty cool turnout. I think there's 57 cars for the night, so that's pretty good for a Friday night test and tune. It's a late one for the year, so it's pretty cool watching it under the lights. Fortunately, no, the Datsun didn't go up the track because you could probably make it to the bar and back before I'd finish a pass. There's definitely some cool cars there and a lot of street cars, so yeah, it was definitely a cool night. Catch up with everyone, see some cool cars, and yeah, my brother, he had his Falcon out with the crossflow on it, got in the 8s, which is pretty good. And then, yeah, my other mate, he got in the 9s with his 4-litre Falcon, and then a few other mates had their cars out doing some good times. Probably saw Brent start. He's doing pretty well to get that down to the ground, especially 1,000 odd horsepower. It's no slouch. Sounds cool. So yeah, it's pretty cool, but tomorrow's the main event. I've got to go back to work, so I'm going to miss this one again, but it's shift life for you. So day shift weekend's finally over. Next to no sleep as usual. Been thinking about coming back out the shed basically all weekend. Was on my way home. Kind of got thinking about getting the back end of the corolla together again. So I've got the diff out now. I told you they had rear brakes.
You're talking bullshit.
So it'd be fairly straightforward, but originally I did these blocks because I was just cheap and I built them myself. I didn't really have any locating pins or anything on them, so all I did was just I thought was a shitty stitch weld. Something that I'll be able to break when I finally decide to do something like this. But the welds aren't exactly that shitty, so I've got the grinders here now in Japanese work boots, and I'm going to chop them off and then hopefully, yeah, get the diff mounted back in, back on the springs, because I'm starting to try and get things ready. You see in the photo, I've got a shitload of firewood stocked up now. Picked that up the other day. All the parts for the front end are on the way, just waiting for them to get here. So rebuild kit for the calipers, and I get new brake rotors because these ones are trashed. Also got new wheel bearings because I don't think it's ever had a set put in it. Pads, the brake pads themselves are pretty brand new. I didn't put them in that long ago, and this thing hasn't done a shitload of work. It's surprising how much it's dragging. It hasn't really worn them away at all, so I'll reuse them. But all that stuff's still on the way, so I can't really go any further with that until everything's here. So I'll knock these blocks off, and I'm hoping that because I've notched the original saddle, I probably should have just put new ones on. Hopefully that'll still locate on the springs without a lowering block. And hopefully, yeah, it should all work still. And then hook everything back up. I'll probably at least get the arse end back on the ground, see what it looks like. We'll go from there. Simple spring install, wasn't so simple. Ran into a few problems. Sort of thought about it when I was mucking around with it the other day. Was hoping I'd get away with it. Like normal with this car, it's not the case. Springs are in now, but just because I've done so much to the back end of this car, things were sort of just not wanting to work out as much. I'll show you what I mean. So with the wheel tubs here, it's tubbed to the rails, and this inside wall here, I had it as low as I could originally, just to isolate the back wheel and tyre and that from everything underneath the car. But the problem is, because I've reverse hired the leaf spring, so now it sits a lot higher because it's on top of the eyelet. Also they're reset, so they flatten out, which means it comes up higher. Also there's no 80mm block in there anymore. So the problem was, I jacked the car up and the spring here would hit the inner wall or inner side of the tub there. Wouldn't let me go any further. So what I had to do was jack it up, check it, unbolt the front of the leaf springs, drop it all down, cut it, do it again, check it, go again, to the point where, yeah, I've got a bit of suspension travel. It's not going to collide with anything. I can't go too much just because of the current floor in this thing, just because I'm limited on height, diff travel and whatnot. I will change it down the track. It will be getting tubbed again, so I'll probably just widen the wheel tubs that are in there, do a round edge radius tub instead of a square, do a middle floor section 4-link, probably a new Hilux diff, one that's a lot shorter, bigger wheels, new rails for the rear. I may even link them to the front. The only thing is I've got 2 F-trucks to build, so this is going to wait. So that's about where it's sitting. It's sort of just tuck and tie, maybe a little bit more, which is sort of what I wanted, because it used to sort of sit about this height with just standard chocks in it. And then I put the coilovers in and picked it up a bit. But that's how low you can get it, just with reversing the eyes, and I think it's 1.5 inch reset. The leaf springs don't exactly do too much anyway. They're just to locate the diff, keep everything centralised, and then the coilovers do all the work. So these are just eBay coilovers. I think they're out of a like a Yamaha V-Star, something like that. And they've worked pretty well. All I had to do was a piece of RHS, set up the hole, set it up so it can't really rock too much, so it hits that little outrigger there. And then all I did was just put a bolt through the top, welded the bolt underneath the top edge there, put a little straight edge there as well, and that's converted it to a pin and eye setup. And yeah, it's worked pretty well. The only problem is these are now too long, so they actually lift the car when you put them in, so I have to buy some shorter ones, which is no real big deal. I'll get them sorted. That's the arse end basically redone on this thing. It's all tucked up in there. I've just got to cut the U-bolts. I'll do them probably tomorrow or another day when I'm not tired as. And yeah, I definitely can run 14s again now, which is good. I'm pretty happy about that. But I've got, yeah, as I said, plenty of firewood, 15s. So I'll run them, and then if I do need to, yeah, I'll organise some 14s. But yeah, we're slowly getting there. So once everything else turns up, I can get cracking on the front, get the rear finished again, and there's not a whole lot else to do to it. Should be ready to go again. It should stop when I want, and I shouldn't get bogged.